Welcome to Roughing It with Ruth, the channel where everything is a bit rough around the edges. Today we are exploring Kloof hiking trail in Muldersdrift, and it's one of the few venues that has some really long route options. There's a 27-kilometer route as well as a 32-kilometer route, but there are also some shorter distances if you prefer a shorter distance. They are only open on weekends and public holidays, and on the website it says that they open from 6 a.m. but the two times that I have been here, the gates are actually open at 5:30. I'm not sure if this is just a summer thing or if they usually open at 5:30, but that is very nice in the summer because you can get going really early and try to beat the heat a little bit. There's a little kiosk where you pay for your entry ticket. When I came, it was 50 Rand per adult, and you can pay with a card if you want to. And just behind that kiosk, sort of printed on the back of it, are a couple of maps of the different trails, and the trails are color-coded according to distance. If you've never been here before, then I do suggest when you buy your ticket, you just ask the person that is selling you the ticket to give you a little bit of a orientation about where you should be walking and what distances you should be doing, because it can be a little bit confusing just because the trails zigzag around so much and there are so many different colors of trail. You definitely don't want to end up getting lost, because once you have stepped off the route that you're intending to do, it can be a little bit difficult to find it again. There is a little river that runs through this venue along with a waterfall, but there is no swimming allowed. However, taking a little break next to the river is very nice, and there is some shade along the trail. There are sections that do not have shade, particularly the ones up in the hills on the longer routes. There's not a lot of shade, but overall, you will find some spots where you can take a break, and particularly down by the river, it is quite nice and cool and scenic. There are cattle that are on this farm, so quite a few of the gates have little cattle grids next to them, and that's the thing that you have to walk over to get past the gate. And some of the gates you do have to remember to close behind you after you go through them. And the cattle themselves seem incredibly relaxed. We walked fairly close to a couple of them and they didn't have any issues with us at all. There are also no dogs allowed on this particular trail, so unfortunately your furry friend will have to stay at home. I've done both the 27-kilometer route and the 6-kilometer route, the yellow route and the red route, and both of them were actually incredibly worthwhile. Even the shorter one, the 6-kilometer, it takes you to the little waterfall and it's very pretty. There's not a lot of elevation on the shorter 6-kilometer route, so if you're looking for something a little bit flatter, a little bit easier, then the 6-kilometer route is a very good choice. The 27-kilometer route has a considerable amount of elevation gain. You do go up quite a lot of the hills around here, so it is a bit tougher, but the views are definitely worth it. You get some absolutely gorgeous views of the surrounding areas and the little valleys in between the hills. So if you are up for a bit more of a challenge, then I do recommend the 27-kilometer route as well. I do think that particularly on the longer routes, it is not a good idea to go on your own. I would advise going in a group. And I do believe that mountain biking is also allowed at this venue, although I have not actually seen any mountain bikers here yet. So maybe just double check on that if you are wanting to bring your bike along. Another thing that I definitely think is important if you're doing the longer routes is to take along enough water. Particularly in summer, it can get brutally hot in those hills. So make sure that you have enough water and a couple of snacks for energy as well. There's also a little kiosk at the end where you can buy some refreshments, some food and drink, which is very nice, especially if you have been exerting yourself quite a lot. Another really nice thing about this venue is that you don't have to drive on much of a dust road to get here. It's mostly tar. Just the very last little section to the parking area is a dirt road. So if you have a car that is very much not a 4x4, then it is totally fine to get to this venue. It's also really nice that no booking is required to come and hike at this particular hiking venue, so you can be a bit more spontaneous and just show up if you decide that you want to do a hike that day. Children that are in school still, so matric or younger, also only pay 25 Rand, half the adult rate, which is very reasonable in my opinion, and children that are grade R or younger are completely free. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to see more videos from me, then you can click on my channel name to see videos that I've made in the past, or you can subscribe to my channel to see videos that I'm going to make in the future. If you're looking for another way to support the channel, then you're also welcome to join the membership. It is completely optional and you are already supporting the channel just by watching this video. So that is just a little something extra for the people who would like to join.